Ahoy, ladies and gents, here I am. A wee bit late. Just jumped out the shower. Anyway, how was your weekend? All right? I'll tell you, oh God, for me, I've been black-pilled for a long time, so it doesn't stress me out too much. But if you weren't before this weekend, you probably should be now. You surely must be. Every time I try to do anything normal or civilized, like sit and watch a television program or something, I just got battered around the head with fucking social justice. It's like you can't get away from it now. And it's extremely, well, it's not frustrating. Said I'm black pilled. I've never expected anything better. But the only sad thing about it is they've succeeded in turning me into what is essentially a secular suicide bomber. Because, Jordan Peterson's always talking about how you've got to sort of avoid this nihilistic outlook on life. But when you feel as if you're not going to be able to get anywhere by democratic means, and I mean, and we just aren't, you are not allowed to be conservative anymore. Videos of Jacob Rees-Mogg trying to leave the Tory conference last week and getting doorstepped by communists. They're always Scottish as well, Scottish people in the chat. Why are so many of you communists? I don't get it. So we're totally fucked. The Welsh, the Scottish, the Irish, commies all over the shop, and England have just followed suit. So basically, we're totally shagged. When a dull, run-of-the-mill, boring old conservative, pleasant, peaceable, always polite, boring bastard like Jacob Rees-Mogg is just not allowed to not get harassed and assaulted. You're not allowed to be conservative anymore. You're not allowed to be a dull, old, boring centrist. You're just not allowed. So how are we supposed to fix these issues? Via the ballot box? It's not going to happen. So this is what I keep saying. You've got to be black-pilled and just accept the fact that the inevitable demise of our society is going to come. We're already dead. We just don't know it yet. But the aspect of it where it's depressing because I'm essentially turned into a secular suicide bomber is I just feel like at this point, it's gone so bad. I don't really care if we fix the problem. Like, it's got to the point where if the Ruskies start flinging nukes about, I'll be like, well, at least the survivors might be able to fix society. Like, there's no part of me now that thinks we're doing all right and we've got something worth preserving, which used to be like the purview of all conservatives, wasn't it? It was, we keep society how it is because it served us so well. And all of the knowledge of the centuries is constantly updated, and we've tinkered and we've made gradual incremental changes, and we've made a society better and better and better and better. And then up until about 1990, we were like, wow, how good's this? Like, now you basically just have to sit on your ass in an office. Again, I'm generalizing, but you know what I'm saying. You basically just have to do a relatively easy job for 36 hours a week. And then you can live like the king, and you've got like great food, comfort, hot running water. We live better than the King of England did a few hundred years ago. Do you know what I mean? If you're just in 1990, if you were a normal bloke doing a normal job, you'd have a nice little semi with a nice little garden, and you've got a fancy mattress and hot running water and great food and great medical care and great everything. It was like we had a society there that was perfect. And then because the commies took over, essentially all the real rot started in America. It always does. But when those people, and it culminated in Blair in the United Kingdom, when they had about 10 years to take over the establishment and completely take over the education system, the universities, the high schools, and they have. I'm like a broken record with me mate, but look, with me mates in my WhatsApp group back home. But it's like, they think I'm a boring bastard because I keep going on about it. Just say to them, like, listen, you normies don't know how bad it is. Like, they've already won. And you don't think there's any problem because it's just at the margins of your life. You know, you still going to work and you're still feeding your kids and you're still watching Netflix. And it's like, the plan is we just die, and then the young kids that's when they get them, when they're educating them, and then in 20 years' time, glorious utopia, hallelujah. And what you don't realise is if you think it doesn't bother you because you'll just be dead, what about your kids? Like my mate Bones, he's got like 2 daughters who are like, I don't know what they are now because I'm an ignorant bastard and I don't even pay attention that much to people's trifling family lives. It doesn't bother me that much, but they're about like 10 and 6 or something. And it's like, do you think it's going to be bad when your kids go to school and then they come home? Let's say your daughter's 15 and she comes home one day and she's like, actually, I'm a boy and I hate you because you're a stuffy conservative and the teachers told me that basically you're evil. So I hate my mum and dad. The first chance I get, I'm going to move out and we won't have a relationship and I'll never talk to you. And I'm going to start sucking Afghans off. Because I'll be a poly-trans gender fucking metal coach ball through my face, purple hair weirdo. And basically your kids are going to be depressed, chemically addicted, pill popping, never talk to you, fucking loopy, basically self-harming freak shows. And you don't think this is a problem because you're still like feeding the kids and going to work 40 hours a week and watching Netflix on the weekend. And because everybody's normies don't pay attention, they think I'm being weird. But it's like, no, we're totally fucked. Like you'll think it's a problem when your kids commit suicide or chop the fucking cocks off. You'll think it's a problem then. When they say Thatcher's Britain, when Tony Blair's caused more damage, fucking 100% Blue Van Man. But this is what I'm saying, we're totally fucked. Blair has gutted the education system and turned it into an indoctrination camp. And if anyone thinks that's hyperbole, like I said, you just have to look at the evidence for it. Go follow libs of TikTok for a week, and you just sat there scratching your head thinking, how can people deny it? Like there's hundreds of videos in there I've seen on the last week of deranged ideologues, like full-blown. They're not normal people who have hobbies and social lives and get on with their lives. They're full-blown political ideologues who just exist to push the message. And they spend all day in the classroom turning your kids into mini activists. And people don't think it's a problem. Well, you'll think it's a problem when your kids fucking top yourself and they never talk, or best case scenario, they survive, but they don't want to have anything to do with you. They'll never talk to you and they'll be off fucking, I don't know, daisy chaining around the gay bar. So, yeah, well, just, all right, it's not a problem. Again, I'm black-pilled, so who cares? At this point, I am a secular suicide bomber. If the Russians start flinging nukes around, I don't fucking care. I don't care. What's worth saving? Basically, it's like Western civilization is a fucking wasp's nest. I don't want to preserve it. If you've got a wasp nest hanging off your porch, you don't think, I'll tell you what, I'll get rid of some of the wasps, but I want to keep the nest intact for artistic appreciation. No, you don't. You just douse the whole thing in petrol and blow the fucking thing up. So it's got to the point where I'm like, is it worth saving? Conservatives were always like, yeah, we have to preserve things. Now, is it worth preserving? I mean, is it really? I did see that Thai copper. It completely went mental. But again, that is the result of someone who has got. It's so obvious to anybody who pays attention to clever people. That is a bloke who's just lost the fucking will to live. And not in the bog standard commit suicide way, the vengeful way, which is what I keep telling you lot, which is what this type of politics leads you to. They're trying to get everybody conditioned so that you hate everyone. Like, that's why they keep talking about love all the time. Love, 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 love. You know why they keep saying love? Because it's hate. They say the opposite of what they mean. Kamala Harris and Joe Biden are just constantly on the TV. I've seen a video of Kamala saying, we will speak in the way she talks, slowly and fucking eyes all over the place, like a fucking pissed gecko. We will speak the truth. The truth. The truth. We speak truth. Truth, truth, truth. She says truth 200 times in fucking 3 sentences. So what's she doing? She's lying. She's lying. They say the opposite of what they do. So when they're saying love, 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 but all you see is protesters throwing bricks at Jacob Rees-Mogg, calling his kids cunts. How much love do you feel? Do you feel loved in this day and age? Do you feel loved, normal person, when every time you turn the telly on, you see them spitting hate and rage at people? In reality, not when it's the political. If they're on The Guardian or the BBC or Question Time or on a podium or at a meeting, it's all love trumps hate. But in real world, do you see love everywhere? When the local department store's on fire, love, or bricks thrown at little kids, love. Love, 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 love. It's not love, it's hate, outright hate, the spitting hatred and the conditioning people to despise each other. So, yeah, we're totally shagged. I've told you the message of this channel. The number one message is live a Spartan lifestyle and get used to it. It's got to the point where I don't care about preserving it, conserving what we have. It's not, let the mad cunts burn it all down and rebuild at the end of it, basically, because I don't think we can. We can't win. You can't vote you out of this. You can't. I've said this to you for years. It's got to get much, much worse before it gets better. You don't get to vote your way out of communism. That's not how it works. Just read a book. You don't get to vote your way out of communism. You have to wait until it gets really, 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 really bad. And then the normies wake up. And then finally, you've got enough people and enough momentum to fucking get your freedom. But you don't vote your way out of it. It's not happening. The Tories are about as conservative as a fucking house fire. They're not conserving anything. They're helping destroy everything. Yeah, not build back better. Yeah, build back fuck all. But that's what, like I said, they don't tell you what they really want to do. Build back fuck all doesn't sound good on a t-shirt. They're wrecking everything. So we're shagged. Just accept it. The message should be live a Spartan lifestyle. Keep fit. Stay healthy. Be the best type of prepper you can be and just try to survive. If I'm unlucky and a nuclear bomb lands within, I don't know, 10 miles of my house, I'm properly fucked. But every other measure you can take, I've took. I'm fucking squared away. So I don't care if everything burns down. And if it does, all I want to do is outlive Owen Jones. It's what I told him. My missus was like, why have you got enemies? You know, I've got an enemies list. I don't. It's not about being happy and enjoying my life. I'm just getting kept alive by rage boners and spite at this point. I don't really care about preserving the fucking Western world anymore. I just want to outlive the commies. As long as Afua Hirsch and Owen Jones get blasted to ash in the nuclear fire, the same as me, I'll go out with a fucking erection. If I'm watching the news feed and London's got a fucking atomic cloud over it before one lands on me, I'll go out loving life. So I don't care. I don't care. And like I said, Sadwins has won me over. I am a prepper now. I'm a prepper. Because you can't fix everything. Get yourself over here and be a man. Tess, you don't know how lucky I feel to be over in America. Like, again, I've told you this loads of times. America has got such space and such natural resources and mineral wealth and the amount of shit we've got here. America can come back and be a powerhouse. We're just not utilising it. A good example is Bungalow Biden, right? When, yeah, but Bill, they aren't conservative. That's the point, Bill. That's what I'm telling you. That's why I said they're about as conservative as a house fire. Listen, functionally, when New Labour took power, they never left. This is the point. The Conservatives, what's conservative about them? Nothing. Nothing. Functionally, Tony Blair and cherry fucking lizard lips. I tell you what, I wouldn't fuck her with me granddad's cock. That absolute heartbeat. Lizard lips and her husband have basically been setting policy ever since the left. They just have. New Labour policies are identical to everything Cleggy, Cameron, Gordon Brown, Boris, May, Truss. Functionally, it hasn't changed, has it? They do the same shit. They've ran on an anti-immigrant platform since Blair, and every year we've got more. Every single government has said we're definitely going to sort immigration out. We're definitely going to sort immigration out, and they've let more in. We let 1 million in last year. Conservative, yeah. So Bill gets it. They're not conservative. This is what I'm saying. We've functionally been we've already been defeated. We've lost. We're twitching. We're dead, and we just don't know it yet. Sorry, I do. You don't. So you're fucked. And like I keep saying there, this is what I'm trying to say, Theresa. Commie-Fornia, it definitely is. Definitely. Because what you don't realise with how bad Britain's totally fucked, is how small it is. France is nearly twice as big. It's like 2/3 as big. It's like 1/3 as big as England. Even France and Germany, they've got more space at least. England's totally fucked. Yeah, there you go. More incomers in the last 30 years than the previous 1,000. Yeah. England's tiny as well. And what I'm saying is, here in America, even in Commie-Fornia, I live in a nice, quiet little town where it seems like 80% of the people that live here are red. And that's American red, which is weird how it's sort of Republicans. And they're not interested in this shit. And the other big one to fucking factor in, which is what I was telling the lad who I worked with last night, a Mexican lad. I was saying the Americans don't realise how lucky they are having Mexicans as their predominantly immigrant population. This is like another reason why Europe's totally fucked, but America's still all right. Geography's going to save us, because we've got a continent which is vast, and we've got Canada at the north, which are obviously basically the same, and we've got Mexico at the south, which is basically the same. Like what people don't realise is Mexicans are a brilliant immigrant population. If you have to pick one, obviously I think people need to be lowering immigration massively. But in Europe, we get a different M word, an M word that you're not allowed to say on YouTube, unless you're saying nice things about it. If you're saying fucking hell, I'll tell you what I love, having a 9-year-old wife and walking around with a bin liner over your head's fucking brilliant. You can say the M word then. But you can't say the M word if you're critical, logical, sensible, reasonable, and apply the same secular principles that you have done your whole life before all of a sudden the world went fucking mad. So your predominant immigration to the United States is Mexicans, is people who are ethnically related to you through the Spanish and all the interbreeding that's gone on for the last 1,000 years. And they're all Christians. Most of them are Catholics. Not what you're getting in Europe, is it? I've told you this before. We could have the M&M's program. The Mexicans for, I can't say the word, muzzies. The M&M's program. The British government should say to the American government, I'll tell you what, we love Mexican food in England. We haven't got enough of them. You send us 100,000 Mexicans, and we'll send you 10,000 of our M's. That'd be a fucking good deal for the British. Trust me. I would rather take in 20 million Mexicans than 500 followers of the religion of many, many pieces. How many Mexicans? Have you ever heard of a Mexican fucking rape gang? Have you ever heard of child grooming and indoctrination, torture and gang rape by my chums from down south over here? No, you fucking haven't. How many Mexicans have gone and then fucking blew themselves up outside a pop concert? How many? I could just reel them off. How many blew up a train in Madrid? How many crushed 400 civvies squashed like frogs on the sidewalk in fucking France? How many chopped priests' heads off? There's no way that so basically, this is all culminating in why I'm telling you that Europe is totally shagged. It's too small, it's too crowded, and your immigrants have a tendency, some of them, to fucking explode. All our immigrants do is cook shit. Yours do a little bit more than that. It rhymes with cook. They do it to your kids, and it rhymes with cook. That's what the fucking immigrants to Europe do. So we're just in a better position. If we survive the incoming global fucking clusterfuck, you're in a better situation here than you are in Europe. So I appreciate the invites to come home, Tess, but it's not happening. I'm convinced of it. Maybe I'll be wrong. Maybe the atom bomb, because there's a military base not far from here. Maybe I'm unlucky and someone drops one on my head, at which point, don't care. I've had a good run. But if I do survive, I think I'm in a better position out here than I am in. Europe is done. Europe's done. And us, you know that Keystone pipeline that Biden cancelled on his first day? I heard on the radio yesterday that it would have been finished now. It'd be finished and bringing down 900,000 barrels of oil a day. It'd have added 10,000 plus jobs to the economy, and it'd be bringing down 10,000 barrels of oil a day. And we were buying 400,000 barrels off the Russians. So do the maths. Yeah, never forget. Well, I never will. But I'll also never forget that Michael fucking Adewale Bowley, or whatever the fuck he's called, is living the high life now, and you're feeding him 3 square meals a day. So again, I'll never forget, because it gives me a fucking rage boner. The hate makes me strong. I'm like Anakin Skywalker. The more pissed off I get, the fucking stronger I am. I love it. I love it. I don't care. So, who cares, right? Who cares? Europe's totally shagged. You haven't got the mineral wealth that the United States has. You haven't got the natural resources. You haven't got the ability to absorb as many people, and worst of all, you haven't got the same type of migrants coming over. And most of them that come here are happy to work. They do a lot of work, and they do the best to fit in. Not the case in Europe. So you guys are shagged. And if you're not black-pilled by now, you should be. Do some prepping. I've told you, prep as best you can. Get on Google and find out what weaponry is legal in the UK, and make sure you've got some. There's fucking lesson number 1. Number 2, make sure you've got nice, strong locks on all your doors and windows. You want a lot of insulation. Look after you if there's any fallout. Get some of them life straws where you can, drink out of a fucking puddle. We've also got these. You can buy these things that hold like 100 gallons of water. Like, seriously, I'm going to go into my prepper crack now because I've been really doing my homework about this. Sadwings has won me over. You can buy these plastic things now that they're small, they pack away. It's just like a foldable plastic, but it opens up and it can hold like 50 gallons of water. And apparently, if you get nuked, there's really good videos about it on YouTube about what to do if there's a nuclear strike. And I was reading about it going like, yeah, I want to be on the ball just on the off chance it happens. And if you empty all your pipes within like the first couple of minutes after a bomb goes off, what you really need is potable water, right? It's dead important, because radiation gets everywhere. But as long as you're not caught out in it and you get covered in the dust or that sort of black rain that follows an atomic strike, you can actually empty the pipes quickly and store a shitload of water in them. So it's worth buying a couple of them. And then if you've got the space, I mean, even if you're in a 2-bedroom flat, if you really, really need a stick of 100 gallons of water in your front room, you can't you? But you need potable water to keep yourself alive for a while. Because the other thing I'm thinking is, as long as you just batten down the hatches for like 6 weeks, everyone else is fucked. They'll all eat each other. and then the wind will take all the radiation away. And yeah, obviously it's not good for you getting massive amounts of rats, but it's not going to just instantly kill you in a year or two if you follow all the basic procedures. Minimize your what's the word? I don't know why my brain's got. Let me have some water. I went to the gym and I haven't hydrated properly. Minimize your exposure. Close all your doors and windows, bunker down, give it 6 or 7 weeks while all the fucking lunatics eat each other, and then you can sort of get on with your life. But you need to have like water filters, you need to have potable water, you need to have plenty of food, and you need to get whatever weapons you can if you're living in England. Google it, find out what's legal, and get fucking tooled up. Make sure you've got the thickest. You want a front door like Tomo, the local drug dealer. I remember when I was a teenager and we used to go and buy ganja off a bloke in Park End. And he was called Tomo, and his fucking front door was like, he used to go and knock on his door, and like when you touched it, it was the most solid thing, and it was like knocking against King Arthur's fucking headboard, like, and then when he opened it, it was like, basically you want one of them. You want a front door that's about a foot thick. You want thick windows and everything you've got, and you need loads of potable water and dry rations that'll last you for fucking months. And then you don't have to last years. Probably just have to last a couple of months, because then all the lunatics will fucking at each other, and then it'll start to die down. There'll be like 6 or 7 weeks of total chaos when the comms go down and the electric grid goes down and like the fucking lot collapses, and then society will go absolutely mental for about 3 months, and then you'll be able to venture outside. Like, so you don't need a prep to live for like years, because at that point, who wants to live in a total hellscape? Like, it'd be shite. You just have to do 3 months, I reckon. The worst of it will be over. And then you crawl out your hole and see if your fucking cock glows in the dark. Who cares, right? Who cares? But seriously, that's exactly right. People don't realise how mad the normies, again, the normies, you don't realise how mad they'll go. And then you know what you really don't want to have to do, because this would be it when you've seen how BLM act when it can get away with it. What do you think the riots look? What do you think? Have you seen Black Friday in America when they all go to Walmart when it's the Black Friday sales and they all just fucking kick each other to death in the car park? What do you think Walmart's going to look like after a week with no power and no food supplies? Like, you don't want to be the person that has to go out. This is what I'm trying to tell you. I'm trying to do this in an off-the-cuff way, because nobody will watch it if I make a video about survival. But I'm trying to tell you in a nice, easy, off-the-cuff way. You don't have to plan to live for years. You don't have to have a specially made underground bunker. You just have to do a few basic things. Fortify your normal house as best you can. Strong doors, strong windows, close everything, black everything out, and just fucking hunker down for 3 months. Because the worst thing you can do is have to react to it in the short term. If you find yourself having to nip to Morrison's a week after a few fucking bombs have dropped, you're going to be in serious shit. It's all about managing your risk. And going to Morrison's when there's 1,000 Somalians with meat cleavers that's currently in there is a terrible idea. So that's what you have to do. You just have to do a few basic things, have supplies for a few months, and just fucking hunker down. 3 months, it'll sort itself out. Most people will fucking eat each other. The mobs will starve to death after a few months. The run out, once them supermarkets have been ransacked. I don't think people realise, from seeing angry mobs in action in places like Iraq, I don't think people realise how bad a real angry mob is. And Terry Pratchett's brilliant saying about that. An angry mob is only as clever as its stupidest member. That's a great one, isn't it? An angry mob's only as clever as its stupidest member. And if there's 1,000 people in an angry mob, a lot of stupid people there. We are a couple of minor incidents away from total fucking societal collapse. So you should be taking basic precautions. My missus was telling me, I don't know where she read it, obviously she's got a bit into the prepping lark as well, about reading about an EMP, how much that'd fuck us. Like, literally, if some of these bombs, it's not even the explosion or the radiation that'll fuck you, it's the fact that the entire everything electronic will get wiped out. Like, literally in a day, people would go mental. Mr. Singh will still be open. Mr. Singh will still be open 6 and 12. Yeah, but this is what I'm saying, Jack. When the angry mobs start kicking off, Mr. Singh is going to be in the shit because Mr. Singh's going to have a cricket bat and he's going to be going up against 500 fucking Afghan warlords. So that's what you've got to do. You've got to hide. You've got to hide for like 3 months and then come out and see how things have gone. But even just the electric grid collapsing will totally fuck everyone. The hospitals will be fucked in a couple of months. No communications at all. No phones. Loads of the cars. She was telling me that they reckon 90% of modern cars will be fucked. So everything's going to go to shit. So just, like I said, take whatever reasonable precautions you can. Get tooled up. Get some scran. Get some hogging. Get a drug dealer's door. Bolt your windows and sit it out for 3 months. And you might pull through, and then it'll be all right. Like I said, as long as more commies die than red-pilled people, I'm actually quite comfortable with our incoming nuclear demise. And the other thing about that is, I'm a man who faces the mirror. I've told you guys that lots. If you really want to have a good life, you've got to face the mirror. You've got to be a stoic. You've got to look at the mirror when you do something wrong and say, what could I have done better to mitigate this? Ultimately, democracy works, and this is what Raj Sadwins last time. He was getting wound up because he's fucking a yank and he hasn't accepted the fact that ultimately we get what we deserve because we're in the minority. Now, the only leeway he has got is, there may have been shenanigans during the last presidential. I can't talk about again, because the control, we've already lost. They control the government, they control the schools, they control Silicon Valley. So I can't even talk about it. But you know what I think about shenanigans in the presidential bout of voting where one of them gets to be in charge, right? So you know the crack. But basically, it gets ratched because I point out that we get what we deserve, and we get what we deserve, right? If we get nuked, we deserve it because we are the ones who have tolerated for 30 years these warmongering neoliberals who are, I mean, have you seen them? They're obsessed with war now. The woke, because they are just creatures that have had the brains sucked out and their heads filled with dog shit. The woke, the tolerant left, are now full-blown warmongers. Like, you've got to tip your hat to the skill at which these people have managed to brainwash society. But the woke left, the tolerant ones, are full-blown warmongers. Like when Putin said, I'm agreeable to a peace deal. And Elon Musk was like, we need a peace deal. The left were like, nah, crush them all. I told you guys that guy's Twitter. I showed you guys that Twitter feed from last week. Have I still got it on my fucking thing anywhere? Where the bloke was like, no, this is what, we don't give them an inch. We take from them everything. We give them nothing. We demand this. Total nuclear disarmament. Take all the money off them. Starve the fuckers. Do this. These are the tolerant left, the nice ones. This is the Tories. This is Labour. This is Lib Dems, SNP, Greens, Democrats, half the Republican Party. The warmongers, whenever we've been presented with a possible way out of avoiding total catastrophe, we haven't took it. So we deserve it, don't we? We do. Sadwings, we do. We do. If everybody thought like you, we wouldn't deserve it because we'd have a government that was sensible. But they don't, so we don't. We deserve it. Every time anyone's presented a peace treaty, a negotiation, something, a negotiated peace, which is how you end every war, the woke have gone, kill them all, kill them all, kill them all. No, we don't give them an inch. We will never give them an inch. Never, ever. Don't negotiate. They're like the fucking Taliban. Like, I used to joke about it every 9/11 for about 8 years when it first happened. I was raged. I'd put up on my Facebook, never forgive, never forgive, never forget, never forget, never forgive, never forget. You get a bit older and you go, you know what? You do have to sort of realise that maybe you have to not forget, but sort of forgive people. Like I keep going on about the Northern Ireland peace deal was one of them. It was like people have been murdering each other for centuries. And there's a lot of hatred there. But the Queen still shook Martin McGuinness's hand. Martin McGuinness helped blow her fucking uncle up, right? But she still shook his hand. God bless her, because she knew it was like, you don't have to like these people. You just have to move past it. And if you're a leader, the people that are supposed to be more tough and more stoic and smarter than the general normie public, they're especially the ones who should be able to accept, swallow a bitter pill to try and get peace. This is what I'm saying, John. Why are there absolutely no attempts? There's no attempts. If you even say maybe we should get round the table with the Russians, everyone, Silicon Valley, again, I'm flirting with disaster on my channel, because if you say maybe we shouldn't all murder each other, they go, ban silence. They've got CNN, MSNBC, Sky, Channel 4, BBC, all of the fucking printed media, all of the online media, all the TV networks, all the politicians, all the schools, they've got everything. So if you come out and say, maybe we should have peace, they go, fuck off. Kill them all, kill them, smash them, crush them, take the nukes, take their army, take the food. So we're fucked. So if we get twatted and the nukes start flying, just lean back and relax. Fuck it. Indulge in a rage boner or a rage wide on if you're of the fairer sex. And just lie back and go, fuck it. Fuck it. Batten down the hatches, close the doors and windows, and let's see what happens. Learn to embrace the suck, as they say in the military. Embrace the suck. This is exactly what I keep telling you. Embrace the suck. Just be happy knowing that the people you hate have got it worse. People who are used to flying around in private jets and eating Wagyu steaks, they're going to be more pissed off than we are when everything completely goes to shit. Their bunkers won't save them when they fucking start flying, because an angry mob will eat them. You don't think John Kerry's armed guards are going to keep 200,000 starving peasants out there? They're going to get eaten. Owen Jones is going to get staked to his fucking front garden and bummed till his head falls off. This pleases me. I'll be happy in the ruins of society. I don't care. So yeah, you've got to embrace the rage, and you'll be happier for it. It's like I told you, if you can convince yourself that sweeping street is enjoyable, you'll be the happiest street sweeper in the world. You never work a day if you love what you do. Well, I love being angry. I love it. I love seeing everything completely go to shit. Who's got the most to lose? I remember listening to Ricky Gervais's podcast, and Carl Pilkington made a great point about this. He said Bruce Willis was crying about global warming and climate catastrophe and all this stuff. And he says, Bruce Willis is worrying about it because Bruce Willis has got a mansion and 20 cars. He says, if you're living in a council estate in Manchester, who gives a fuck? And maybe that's it. Maybe it's because I was born and raised in Middlesbrough. But I sit here going, I think I'd probably prefer not to get nuked. But if it does happen, how bad can it be? How bad can it be? I'll either get wiped out in the first 10 seconds, at which point, who cares? Won't know about it. And if I do live, I'll have a fatty on, because I know for a fact Owen Jones is having a worse time than me. I've conditioned myself. I'm a stoic Englishman. I've conditioned myself to like Spartan lifestyle. I can live off MREs for a year and it wouldn't bother me. I could live off nothing but salted oats and fucking rainwater. Wouldn't bother me that much. It would taste like fine beluga caviar, because as I'm eating them, I'm like, Owen's getting bummed to fucking death by a warlord. The best thing I've ever eaten. This partially radioactive tap water. It's like the nectar of the gods. Get in. So there you go. I'm loving it. You just have to condition yourself to love, embrace the suck, live the Spartan lifestyle, get tooled up, sort your house out, and then learn to love it. Learn to love it. And as long I'll be there, cob on my back, slightly mutated because I'm too close to ground zero, or drinking some green sludge that's apparently hydrating me, and I'll be happy. As long as I know John Kerry's fucking getting bummed senseless in the rubble of his mansion, and Owen Jones is getting his fucking head put on a spike by an Afghan warlord. So who cares? Who cares? Embrace the suck. That's what I say. Let the Ruskies fling the nukes. Let's see. Who cares? Who cares? And even that, if let's say you're a warmonger and you just really, really hate the Russians, there's even a good point there, isn't it? Because at least you know that they'll get twatted as well. You don't have to worry about the enemy winning either, do you? Because they'll get twatted. If they start flinging them about at us, we'll fling them at them. All the arseholes will die. Even if you're anti-Russia, well, they're fucked as well, aren't they? So to me, no, I'm thinking about it. It's almost like there's no downside. We've already lost. Yeah, we're already dead. They own the media in Silicon Valley and the schools and the lot. And Extinction Rebellion taking over, and they're always stop the oil there. They're blockading all the roads. You can't get to work. Your kids are all going to be mentally ill, suicidal, fucking psychopath. Who cares? Are there any downsides to us getting fucking wiped out? I don't think so. I don't think so. Never have another hangover. That's good. We won't be able to get pissed off toilet wine or whatever the fuck I'm going to be drinking. Christ, I haven't even done any news. You can see I've been away a while. I'm just ranting today. I'll have to do one. So let's click the top one. What's this? Top stories from around the world. Strikes across Ukraine, revenge for the bridge attack. Well, see, this is an example of what I've been talking about. The Ukrainians, I'm sure I can't get banned for this because it's known fact, right? It was in the New York Times that the Ukrainians killed that young woman, basically admitted it, and then the American government said, oh, you're not allowed to do that, lads. Here's another $10 billion. So does everybody know what story I'm talking about? You guys are all based, so I'm assuming I don't need to. I'm assuming I don't need to go and find the story for you. But that's basically what happened. They assassinated a young woman just because she's fucking related to an oligarch, a Russian oligarch. So they assassinated a young woman, admitted it, and the US government said, "Oh yeah, well we did admonish them, and then we give them another $10 billion." So that's where we are. This is what I keep saying. I'm not sticking up for Putin and the Russians, but basically we're the bad guys. If they're the bad guys, we're the bad guys as well. Maybe that's where I'm at. I don't think any of us are good guys. We're all cunts. So who cares? But basically, they killed a young woman. So we are the bad guys. They're the bad guys as well. We're all bad guys, right? Our leaders are going to lead us to disaster. So fuck it. Who cares? There's no sense worrying about it. Anyway, and then they blew up a bridge as well, which is another thing that made me laugh. I watched the video of that and I was like, what if you were there was loads of cars on that bridge. Nobody's talked about that because the Ukrainians did it. If the Russians did it, they'd have little puff pieces of every single person in the car, wouldn't they? Did you see? The bomb goes off. There's at least like 10 more trucks and cars on the bridge. If the Russians did it, there'd be puff pieces. This is Sarah Smith, 26. She was such a lovely person. Her car was only 50 yards away from the Russian truck bomb. That's what they'd be doing. This is Akbari from London. He was only 30 feet away from the truck bomb that went off. Oh my God, he was such a good person. You'd be reading fluff pieces about all of them. But when they blew that bridge up, you didn't get any of that. You just got, yeah, blew it up, and fuck it, deserved it. Fuck this bridge. Fuck that bridge. Again, because we're getting conditioned as if there's only one side of the argument. And I don't buy any of it. Like I keep saying, if the rules are fucking fixed, the only way to win is to not play the game. So I just don't care what they say anymore. At this point, every single thing I see on the BBC, I assume is the exact opposite of the truth. Like I said, I distrust the BBC so much that if the 9 o'clock news came on and the presenter was hanging, like it accidentally started early and he was already in his gimp suit, hanging from like a chain with like spikes to his nipples and a fucking vase up his arse. And he went, "Oh, I'm a little bit uncomfortable." I wouldn't believe him. I think, nah, he's not. Everything they say is opposite. If he's telling me he's a little bit uncomfortable, I think he's in perfect fucking. He's just. It's like being in a double bed, Tempur-Pedic mattress. Everything that tells you lies. So I don't care what the stories say anymore. It's like maybe I should actually stop doing the BBC Spews and just talk shit for an hour like this because everything they say is lies. Everything they tell you is lies. And we only tell you one side of the story. Journalists used to tell you both sides of the story, and all you get now is the message from the woke warmongers. Kill them all, kill them all, kill them all. The rank Russophobia promoted by Silicon Valley and the British and the global mainstream media is a hate crime. It's rank Russophobia. There's millions of Russians that don't like Putin. There's millions of funny old thing. Russians are like, dare I say, black people, i.e., they have different opinions. Ooh, controversial. Or gays. Ooh, or women. Guess what? You get gay Republicans. Fucking hell. But you never heard that one before, have you? Yeah, they're out there. Guess what? You get lesbians that vote conservative. Fucking hell. You get black people that don't agree with communists. I know that sounds weird, but that's the fact. Yeah, normal people don't differentiate by what people's sexuality is, or what they look like, or what the gender is. They differentiate by what they think, what their opinions are. Like me. Right? Which is what I keep saying. Whenever any wanker on Twitter's like, oh my God, you're a racist. I'm like, hey, mate, you're probably, like all of the woke, some middle-class, well-educated, insufferable white bloke, and I would rather lick Kanye West's ball sack than brush past you in the fucking street, mate. So don't call me fucking racist. I don't care about that. I care about what people think. You know what I mean? I despise the woke, authoritarian, commie fucking ratbags for what they are. Not about race or sexuality at all. I would rather get daisy chained round a gay disco by 20 gay sailors than be forced to share the same air as Owen fucking Jones for 10 seconds, and he's a blue-eyed white man just like me. I don't care about that. I care about not being a communist. That's all I care about. So yeah, we're totally fucked. That's the message from today's chef. We should just call the stream that from now on. We're totally fucked stream. We are totally goosed. Shock and horror is playgrounds and bridges is playgrounds. Of course they are. Why would they? What would be the tactical advantage in blowing up playgrounds? Like they're going, comrade, there is a tank here, there is an anti-aircraft battery there is an infantry training barracks there, and then there's a school. Fuck it, get the school. Why? Don't know. General, twat the school. But sir, fucking do it. The BBC needs to see this. So, like I said, I don't believe them. It's all bollocks. Indians are fleeing Africa. Why? India? Oh, so is that another? Is India at war now as well, is it? Why Indians are fleeing? All right. India's at war as well. So let's have a look at the countries that are like predominantly moving around the world now. We've got Algeria, Morocco, Albania. Who's Albania at war with? You can't move for Albanians in fucking England now. Is Albania like the world's worst war zone? Does Albania make Syria look like fucking a walk in the park? A dog walking park? They're not even at war with anyone. It's ridiculous. So, yeah, the Indians now. So, let's add that to the list of countries who will accept asylum seekers from. Morocco, Algeria, Pakistan. Well, basically anywhere. Anyway, I was going to reel them off. Egypt. Anywhere that isn't in Western Europe, we now take asylum seekers from, don't we? Anywhere. India, Pakistan, Morocco, Algeria, Egypt, Albania. It doesn't even matter. And India now. India, China. Fuck you, just take everyone. You get an Albanian takeaway every Friday. I'll tell you what. I'm showing my ignorance. I have no fucking idea what they're... I have no idea what they eat. Albanians? No idea. Yeah, so bollocks. Right, that'll do us, won't it? I'm not in the mood for the news today. I'm just raged after seeing a weekend of madness. And then, like I said, even if you try to get away with it, I've seen clips of Strictly Come Dancing, and it's like fucking Strictly Come Dancing. It's like, remember when dancers used to be good looking? Back in the say 90s. I don't even know when Strictly first started, but it's like you used to see hot birds on there. Now I've seen I seen two birds dancing together, and one of them had a fucking arse, like the back end of a double decker. Like it was meant to be Strictly Come Dancing. You expect this like super athletic women flinging themselves around the dance floor, and instead you just get treated to 10 minutes of some fucking gopper eating a sausage roll on the dance floor in a fucking leotard. I've never seen out like it. So I got that, the 400-pound dancer, and then I shit you not, I was like, I'm glad I don't watch Strictly. I waited about an hour and I went back on Twitter, and then there was a fucking dwarf. I swear to God. So I went from morbidly obese howler leaping around the dance floor whilst eating a sausage roll to fucking mini me having a dance with some fucking big bloke. I was like, so is this what we've got now? You can't even watch Strictly. You can't even watch Strictly now without getting bashed around the head. Coming up next, Idris Elba penetrates your granddad. That's what Strictly's got turned into. It's not even people dancing anymore. It's just insane woke indoctrination. So we've got fat birds, midgets, black dudes bumming each other. I don't even know. I don't even know what's going on. So I think that is what provoked the hour-long rant today. It was even Strictly is fucking woke talking points. You can't even just go, I'm not watching the news, I'm watching Strictly. Or else you're going to see Idris shagging your granddad whilst a dwarf films it. So there you go. Brilliant. Who won? Who won? I only saw the clip, Crags. I only saw the clip. It is Clown World Online. It definitely is. Everything's gone mad. When you can't even watch Strictly without getting battered around the head with a fucking rainbow, you know the world's gone mad. Right, okay. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'm off work tomorrow, so I'll see you tomorrow. Monday, Tuesdays my weekends at this point. Right. See you for a stream tomorrow. Cheers, easy. Keep smiling. Don't forget to get the drug dealer's door fitted. You need one. You need one. It needs to be a foot thick. It needs to be as thick as Diane Abbott's sandwiches. Like fucking that. Right. See you later.